Right now at noon, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. may still have a chance to be removed from the ballot, but he faces a very tight deadline. Plus, Sun Prairie residents will see a new charge when registering their cars. How much and the reason why. Happy Wednesday, and thank you so much for joining us on News 3 Now at noon. I'm Michelle Renee Quinn, filling in for Josh Sprider. We begin this afternoon with breaking news. The Wisconsin Court of Appeals District 2 is picking up Robert Kennedy's case, asking to be removed from the ballot. This comes after a Dane County judge sided against his efforts. The judge cited a state law saying once a candidate submits their nomination papers, they are on the ballot. The Court of Appeals will rush and waive some procedural requirements due to the urgency of this case. Kennedy must submit a memorandum by tomorrow, and the Wisconsin Election Commission must respond by tomorrow. Both groups are directed to address specific questions relating to stickers on ballots should Kennedy's name be removed. New at noon, no one is injured after a fire at Curly's Pub and Grub on Main Street in the village of Blue Mounds. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says fire crews responded to a fire just before 3 this morning. They saw smoke filling the building, which included a single-family apartment above the business. All 6 residents were safely evacuated, and the Red Cross is assisting the family. The fire is being investigated, but the Sheriff's Office says it does not appear suspicious. Damages are estimated at $200,000. Now to an update. Starting today, students who attend East Elementary in Jefferson will have classes in other buildings. District leaders say this will continue through the 27th of this month. This after a fire canceled classes yesterday. Officials say the fire did not cause significant damage, but it requires soot cleaning. More information for caretakers can be found on the district's Facebook page. Sun Prairie residents will now have to pay more to own a car. This comes after the city passed a wheel tax at last night's meeting. The $30 tax, will go into effect February 1st of next year. This is part of a growing trend in Wisconsin. Our Braden Ross spoke to an expert to find out why.
When there's a real struggle for every municipality to balance their budget, any little source of new revenue is, I think, and should be on the table.
In 2011, there were only 4 Wisconsin communities that imposed a wheel tax. But as road repairs and infrastructure projects have gotten more expensive and state aid and property tax limits haven't kept up, municipalities have been forced to fund roads and transportation in other ways.
They look for small extra sources of revenue, and the wheels tax is an obvious one.
Today, there are more than 50 cities and counties in Wisconsin with wheel taxes. In Madison, drivers pay $40 for the city tax and $28 for the county levy. That's on top of the $85 annual state registration fee.
These kind of taxes that you're referring to are usually called generically, at least, user fees.
The idea, rather than pay for road costs through taxes that everyone pays into, the money comes out of the wheel tax pot that's funded by those who actually use the roads.
If I'm using a service, I ought to pay for it, hence the name user fees. On the other hand, if we expand that to services that every municipal resident should have access to, then people who have low income are really restricted.
But asking your constituents to pay more taxes, not necessarily an easy sell.
That was our Braden Ross. She says council members had multiple long discussions about this. They also repeatedly said they didn't want to pass this. Now it's time for a look outside our weather window. First Warn meteorologist Kelly Slifka is on the patio.
Yeah, another day of warm temperatures. We've had a few high, thin cirrus clouds blocking out the sun just a little bit, but I think we'll see quite a bit of sunshine for the rest of the afternoon. As we look at our Edgewater sky cam, seeing some of the blue out there. A little bit of these cirrus clouds as well, but those will be on their way out. Warm temperatures continue. We don't see it really changing until maybe next week. We'll back off a little bit, but still looking above average going into next week. We do finally have a chance of some showers and thunderstorms rolling through. It looks like Thursday night, some beneficial rains, and then another good opportunity of widespread rain on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Some needed rain by then. Otherwise, just a few high, thin cirrus clouds. You do see some instability off to the west, but that's that area of disturbed weather that will eventually be arriving here, looks like by Thursday night. 79 in Madison, 80 already in Middleton, so it is a warm afternoon. Temperatures in the low to mid 80s throughout the day. Winds will be out of the south and east. We'll track that chance of rain coming our way Thursday night, and then again also going into next week coming up.
Sounds like a perfect afternoon today to me.
Yeah, great today, great tomorrow as well. You know, this is what we're dealing with this week.
Thanks, Kelly. We'll check back in later. In elementary schools, best practices are always changing. This means lesson plans are as well. Wisconsin schools are moving away from the decades-old balanced literacy program, and they're moving towards a new strategy outlined by 2023's Act 20 law. The change comes following the National Assessment of Educational Progress in 2022. It found that only 33% of fourth graders were at or above proficient reading levels. This leaves 2/3 behind. Supporters of the act say more equitable instruction could help.
The best version of what the change is aiming for is to get kids to be more fluent with the tools of reading more quickly, more effectively, more efficiently, and with some equity.
One major building block is teaching kids to break down words letter by letter. This is opposed to popular strategies that teach kids to use context clues and memorization to form words and sentences. Now to our 3 for the People coverage. Trump-Vance campaign is aiming to reach Wisconsin voters with regards to the economy. Vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance made a second visit to Eau Claire as Western Wisconsin remains a target for both sides of the aisle. At the rally, Vance spoke on multiple issues, including the economy and childcare. The senator says the government needs to give families more options.
But I meet families every single day out on the campaign trail, and some of the stories they're telling me, I mean, you get 2 kids in daycare paying $25,000 a year in childcare. I actually heard from somebody just yesterday who has 2 children in daycare and actually is losing money by going to work because of how expensive daycare is. And again, we got to just give people options. We got to give people choice.
Vance's visit comes ahead of Vice President Kamala Harris's stop in Madison on Friday. Today is an important day for the U.S. economy. For the first time in 4 years, the Federal Reserve is expected to reduce interest rates. Rate cuts would make repaying certain loans less expensive. This would help Americans looking to buy a home or car. It would also ease the burden of credit card debt. The question today is how much will the Fed slash rates? But analysts say too much of a cut could lead to a recession.
If unemployment is increasing, if the things are slowing down, is there a risk that by going gradually and getting this process started in a sort of patient way, you actually let the job market cool too much?
Fed Chair Jerome Powell had said in August the time has come to make an adjustment. That's after inflation dropped below 3%. COVID-19 cases are high in many parts of the U.S. and they're continuing to rise. And with flu season coming up and RSV levels already starting to tick up, experts say now is the time to protect yourself. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither explains how to get ready for respiratory virus season.
It's about that time of year again. The CDC forecast suggests this respiratory virus season will be similar to last year's, which brought more than 20 hospitalizations for every 100,000 people in 1 week at its peak. That's far worse than in pre-pandemic years.
Getting our vaccination numbers up is still an ongoing battle.
Dr. Jared Eddy with National Jewish Health says the best way to protect yourself and those around you is by getting vaccinated. Last year was the first year the U.S. had vaccines available to protect against all 3 major respiratory viruses: flu, RSV, and COVID-19.
You are able to get vaccines at the same time.
When it comes to COVID-19, the CDC recommends everyone ages 6 months and older receive an updated vaccine this season. When to get it varies. If you're at higher risk, including seniors or people who are immunocompromised, now is a good time to receive it since COVID-19 cases are high. Others who may have natural immunity from a recent infection may decide to wait. The seasonal flu vaccine is also recommended for everyone 6 months and older. September and October are the best times to get those. As for RSV, the vaccine is recommended for all adults 75 and older, along with those 60 and older at higher risk because of certain chronic medical conditions or if they live in a nursing home or long-term care facility. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The RSV vaccine is a one-time dose, so older adults who got the shot last year won't need another this year. The CDC says pregnant people can also receive the RSV vaccine to protect a newborn, or antibodies can be given to an infant after birth. Still ahead for us this afternoon, retail sales are trending up, and AT&T is paying to settle a probe into last year's data breach on Money Watch.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon. Moving forward.
I live in Michigan. I'm a two-time Trump voter, and I am not voting for him again this year. Trump is stating that he is running for America. Trump is not running for America. He is running so that he can pardon himself, so that he can exercise immunity, so that he can rub shoulders with dictators around the world. I will never vote for Trump again.
Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Rank Seed is rooted in technology, striving to bring the best products to their customers. With DNA genetic breeding, GPS-linked yield assessment, along with gravity tables and color sorters to make the best seed. Rank Seed, rooted in technology.
Be the scariest house in the block this Halloween at Menards.
We all know costs are too high, but while corporations are gouging families, Trump is focused on giving them tax cuts. But Kamala Harris is focused on you.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll make groceries more affordable by cracking down on price gouging. And she'll cut housing costs by taking on corporate speculators. Middle-class families build America. We need a leader who has their back.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
There are over 21,000 Wisconsin veterans struggling to pay for rent and utilities.
Thank you for your service.
Many are also facing issues with their mental health.
Thank you for your service.
We must do more to help these heroes who have already sacrificed so much.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
Words simply aren't enough.
I'm sorry.
Make a difference by donating to this critical Wisconsin survival safety net today.
4 years ago, in this alley, rioters threw a brick at my face and knocked out my teeth. Why? Because I was a police officer. And what did Kamala Harris do? While America's cities were burning, Kamala was defending peaceful protest. She raised millions to help bail rioters out of jail and supported defunding our police, making us all less safe. Kamala Harris is dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Retail sales ticked up in the U.S. last month, according to the latest Commerce Department report, with a 0.1% jump from July to August and a 2.1% increase over last year. The uptick was driven partly by strong online sales. The Federal Communications Commission says AT&T has agreed to pay $13 million to settle a federal probe into whether the wireless service provider did enough to protect customers' data with last year's breach. The company will also enter a consent decree as part of this settlement. Around 9 million customers' data was exposed by the breach. In a statement to CBS News, AT&T said protecting our customers' data remains one of our top priorities. And Meta has launched Instagram teen accounts in response to concerns over social media use by young people. The platform will move all users under 16 to the new service, which offers a more limited experience for teens. Changes to the restrictions require caregivers' permission. User profiles are automatically private and can only be reviewed if a request is accepted. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
At the noon hour, the stock market is mostly stagnant, awaiting a possible federal interest cut. The Dow is up 35.5 points, the NASDAQ is up 18.5, and the S&P 500 is up 5.5. Our call for action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. Volunteers are here every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can call for action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. And today's ag prices are straight ahead, and we're tracking the first warn forecast. Then later on, live at 4, we're previewing an upcoming event in Mount Horeb aimed at improving your mental health.
I want to turn to the issue of abortion.
For 52 years, they've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it.
I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't want that. I think the American people believe that certain freedoms, in particular the freedom to make decisions about one's own body, should not be made by the government. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Get your best night's sleep on a new Beauty Rest mattress from Steinhoffels. Support a great cause when you test rest a Beauty Rest. Steinhoffels will donate $20 to special spaces, and you get a $20 reward card for lunch on us. Rest easy on a new Beauty Rest Black. Queen mattresses start at only $42 per month. Plus, get up to $300 in Steinhoffels cash. Start sleeping better tonight. Steinhoffels, your mattress destination. Shop in store or online.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
I'm Joan Balwig, and these days the cost to make Great-Grandma Balwig's Blue Ribbon banana bread is, well, just nuts. Wisconsin families are feeling the pinch of inflation, even on the basics. That's why I work to put dough back in your pockets. Led the effort to defend our family farms and passed the biggest tax cut in state history, because the only way to make life affordable again is to do what banana bread does and bring everyone to the table.
The final sprint to Election Day is on, and News 3 Now this morning is focused on the races and the policies that matter to you, the voter.
We're taking a look at both sides of the issues and where the candidates stand so you can cast your vote with confidence.
3 for the people, only on News 3 Now. A new era begins.
And I'm just getting started.
Bigger cases.
She was lured to your apartment.
Higher stakes. Never seen before in daytime.
In front of millions of people.
Judy Justice.
Weekdays at 3. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Pam Yonke from the Midwest Farm Report is out of the radio barn today. Here's a look at your farm numbers. It's 12:19 and meteorologist Kelly Slifka is on the patio with a look at your certified most accurate forecast.
Yeah, the beat kind of continues this week. We continue with the dry conditions, the unseasonably warm weather. Things are starting to change, though, and I'm going to show you this on our satellite. Now, we're actually starting to see that ridge of high pressure basically blocking any system from moving in, starting to break down. We've seen some showers, even some thunderstorms off to the west in Minnesota. Looks like we'll have a chance coming in Thursday night, and then we'll get a little bit of a break, I think most of Friday and Saturday. Looks like early next week, I think Monday and Tuesday will be some beneficial rains across all of southern Wisconsin, and we need it. We will get a break from the high temperatures, getting a little bit down and closer to average by next week as well. Temperatures next few days in the 80s, but by next week we should be in the low to mid 70s. But in general, above average temperatures are going to continue. Chance of some showers, maybe a thunderstorm rolling through, it looks like Thursday night, and then we'll have better chances of widespread rain. Looks like Monday and Tuesday in between the weekend looks pretty okay. Talk more about that coming up. 80s for this afternoon, though, still running well above our average, but since the atmosphere is so dry, we do cool off pretty quickly. And you got to remember now, the sun sets just after 7 o'clock, so our nights are quite long. 85 expected today. Our average now is 72, and there's that sunset at 7:01. Our record still can get in the 90s. 92 is the record for this state. Future track today, looking at lots of sunshine as temperatures warm into the mid 80s most areas. We'll see some of these high, thin cirrus clouds from that system out west, but that'll be about it. Most of that will be drying up as we go through the overnight tonight. Temperatures backing off back into the upper 50s, waking up tomorrow morning. And we'll start off dry. We'll see some showers move up toward La Crosse into west central parts of the state Thursday morning. That area of unsettled weather is going to stay to our north. It looks like as we go into Thursday evening, we'll watch some showers and storms roll out of parts of Minnesota toward the La Crosse area, say about 9 o'clock or so. This will be a pretty intense line. It will weaken as it moves a little bit closer to the Wisconsin River Valley toward Madison, but we can expect some showers and storms to roll on in. It looks like toward the midnight hour here in Madison, some much needed rain expected here in Madison. The question is just how much. A lot of this will come through the overnight period, so by Friday morning, most of that on to the east. Now, as far as rainfall amounts, the heaviest will be falling off to the west. Some locations could be picking up over an inch of rain. Many locations about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Lesser amounts as you get into parts of Jefferson County and also Rock County. Amounts look to be a little bit less over there. Right now we're at 79, 82 already in Lone Rock and also Janesville, 79 currently in the Dells and across Stain County, 81 currently in Middleton, 78 right now in Wanakee. So another warm afternoon, 85, 85 again tomorrow. Repeat that on Friday. Don't forget, we got that rain chance Thursday night. We don't really have that on the graphic because it's coming in the nighttime period, so the daylight hours are going to be dry. Saturday looks to be dry. Can't rule out a few showers and storms on Sunday. Better chances of more widespread rain as that chance goes up on Monday and Tuesday as temperatures back off into the 70s next week.
Yeah, I could see some browns in the cornfields as I was driving by. That rain is really going to help.
Yeah, we really need it. Everything's looking pretty dire right now, and leaves are starting to fall just simply because it's been so dry the last several weeks.
Well, thanks so much, Kelly. We'll check back in shortly. Up next, Howard's whipping up a dessert using coffee in the Mr. Food test kitchen.
If you're a coffee lover like I am, then you're going to love the sweet treat we're whipping up today. Don't go anywhere. Stick around.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Leave the gate open and it's chaos. Biden and Kamala opened America's gate, abandoned the Border Patrol. In came over 8 million unvetted illegals and a fentanyl crisis endangering families.
Let's go. I'm Derek Van Orden, and after spending 26 years as a Navy SEAL, I'll do anything to protect your grandchildren and mine. I know how to defend this country. So let's secure the border and save America. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling. But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health, remarkable.
Pella windows and doors are best in class, not only from the endless styles, but for the features you can't see. Pella manufactures, tests, installs, services, and warranties their products, meaning quality craftsmanship and innovative design are built into every Pella window and door for timeless beauty and performance. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
They've been rocking audiences for decades. It's Foghat. Performing live November 30th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
I just want to make
with special guest, The Empty Pockets. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. Legendary rock band Foghat. Live in concert November 30th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
Bidenomics is working.
It's not. ABC News proved it with charts.
It was under control
on
during
inflation,
the Trump administration, well below
gas,
$3 a gallon, 35%
and housing.
jump in home prices, folks.
Even CNN admits it.
When it comes to the economy, groceries were less expensive, housing was more affordable when Donald Trump was president.
Yet Harris still says,
Bidenomics is working.
no, it isn't.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
You know, it's not surprising, based on how popular coffee is, that the Italian dessert tiramisu, which happens to be laced with coffee and coffee liqueur, shows up on menus everywhere. Although it looks like it would be difficult to make, truth be told, it doesn't have to be. Today, we're sharing a version that's easy and dreamy. We start by combining a generous amount of mascarpone cheese with sugar. We beat it well before folding in half of our whipped heavy cream. This is going to be our filling. At this point, we line the bottom of an 8-inch square baking dish with ladyfingers. I like using the soft ones, which are sponge-like. We drizzle these with a mixture we made by combining instant coffee granules, coffee liqueur, water, and a splash of vanilla. Next, we add a layer of the filling and repeat everything one more time. The remaining whipped cream goes on top before dusting it with some cocoa powder. That's what gives our tiramisu its signature look. Once it's chilled, it's ready to serve. Talk about a showstopper. To get the recipe for our creamy, dreamy tiramisu, simply visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found
dreamy
coffee lover's way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
And Kelly's here with one last look at your forecast.
Yeah, another warm and sunny afternoon. We've got more of the same going into tomorrow afternoon, but it's tomorrow night. We're taking a look at finally a chance of some rain. This is at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. La Crosse, Black River Falls, seeing a line of showers and storms rolling through. I think toward the midnight hour here in Madison over to Mineral Point and Platteville, we'll have that chance of some rain, and then it should be dry after that. So we have that chance of rain tomorrow night. Then we'll be dry into Friday and Saturday. It looks like Sunday, maybe a few showers and storms. A little bit better opportunity to see more widespread beneficial rains as we go into early next week. And temperatures back off from the 80s into the 70s going into next week.
Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you back here live at 4.